Great, so now, what is our body temperature? Is it 98.6 or is it 97.9? In this video, I'm gonna give you all the details you need to know. My name is Dr. Story. I've been a chiropractor for over 24 years. I'm gonna give you some realistic advice based on my experience. So we need to cut through the baloney here, and it's interesting that we have always assumed that our body temperature was 98.6. In fact, how long has it been? Try to put the number down in the comments down below. Let's see if we can guess how long we've thought that 98.6 was normal. Well, it turns out a person in Germany reviewed 25,000 people in his country, and what he did was in 1868 or 1871, depending on what you read, he determined that the average was 98.6 and then converted the word average into that's what normal is. So now for the last 150 years, it has created some hysteria that we should all be 98.6. Now the question is, what if you're 98.5? Is that normal? Well, the answer is no. And if you're 98.7, is that normal? No. Because everybody thinks you should be 98.6. But it turns out that it's more like a bell curve. And so recently at Stanford, they have done some research and found that it really isn't. The average really isn't 98.6. It's 97.9. Big deal. We're talking about 3/4 of 1 degree. Is this really significant? Well, let me give you the scoop on this, and by the end of this video, you're gonna know a lot more about your body temperature than you probably wanna know. Did you know that our body temperature can fluctuate about 1 degree from morning till night? It actually changes throughout the day, depending on chemicals that we have, how our body is regulating its own temperature. So within 1 degree is actually considered normal. You can test this yourself and get a digital thermometer and put it in underneath your tongue and check your temperature throughout the day. And you will find that your temperature can actually fluctuate. It is not one number that stays consistent. So the reason this is confusing is because the average might be 97.9, or for the last 150 years, the average has been 98.6. But the reality is, those are averages. Everybody knows about a bell curve. Now, there are some people on one extreme and some people on the other extreme, but for the majority of people, they're in that ballpark. But if you want to split it right down the middle, the average is now considered 97.9. Now, why is this a big deal? Because people that used to have low body temperature, it was assumed that they had some type of thyroid disease. Now, if the bell curve moves over a little bit, all those people that were a degree or two below the average, they thought they had some type of thyroid condition. It turns out they may have been normal. So what I want you to get out of this channel today is we need to stop freaking out about these numbers changes. This goes hand in hand with blood pressure. Average might be 120/80 for blood pressure, but that does not mean normal. If your blood pressure is 118/72, that does not mean you are abnormal. Likewise, if you're 122/82, that does not mean your blood pressure is not normal. It's a bell curve. Do not confuse average with normal.